So we're all raring to go again. In life, of course, there's so much more important than this game, and yet this game feels so important. It is crucial, imperative that the teams harbouring ambitions to go a long way come smoothly out of the blocks here, and it's all building up very nicely. And the mood is boisterous. It is a perfect ambience for the central characters who are ready now to perform. So we're very much on the way now. Who do you, Jim, see making the difference here?
Trent Alexander-Arnold is one of the more productive players around, despite being a defender. When you look at his stats and see his contributions, you can realise how key a player he really is. And I suppose in many ways you can call him the perfect example of the modern fullback.
I wonder whether that has anything to do with you being a defender once upon a time, Jim.
First quarter of an hour gone.
Pedri.
Mbappe. That was too close for comfort. Oh, he just got it ever so slightly wrong, Peter. There wasn't much in that at all.
So it is still 0-0. Raul.
And here's Elise.
Oh, that's fabulous. Spread out to the left. And they're back on the ball again. Driving forward. Calatrava. Van Bouten. Rijkaard. Oh, here's a man adored by many, even deified by some. Pedri. Rijkaard cuts out the pass. Pedri. And Alexander-Arnold. Elise. Raul. And here's Van Nistelrooy. And it's Pedri. Tries one from Wales.
Superlative from Pedri. A finish of true class.
Perfect placement. The one place the keeper couldn't reach.
That's just a fabulous, fabulous finish. Anything that goes to the frame of the goal, 99 times out of 100, the keeper's not getting there.
Uganda have fired themselves in front.
Well, that gives them the privilege to control the tempo of the game. It's up to them to manage it from here now.
Tries to pass it through. Caught offside that time.
It looks very much like they'd be happy to settle for this narrow lead at the break.
Oh, that's well spotted. Pedri. Mbappe gets into a good position. Oh, that's a fine interception. Uganda leading then, courtesy of the goal scored late in the first half here. 1-0 the score. That is the end of the first half. There's been no shortage of industry or intent thus far. A little inspiration and inventiveness perhaps the only things lacking. Uganda come in leading by just the odd goal.
I think on the whole the team linked up very well and has been organised, hence their position. They can afford to be a little braver with the ball, I think, something they'll be told many times, I'm sure, during the interval.
Uganda leading via the game's only goal, 1-0 at the break.
Substitution for Uganda, number 11, Van Nistelrooy.
Away we go again.
To replace him is...
Well, if you're ahead, it's a good time to start moving the ball quicker, Peter. Entice your opponents out. See if you can open them up a bit more.
There's a searching pass. And the assistant referee has his flag raised for offside. Uganda do appear to have made a half-time change.
I'll be fascinated to see how the change now affects their overall strategy.
Nuno Mendes is the type of player who always likes having a bit of space in front of him. Now that's a lovely exchange. Oh, good spread. Rijkaard being given no time to dwell on the ball here.
Look, stopping him is imperative. It may not eliminate trouble, but it'll reduce it.
He's found a way through. Your impression so far, Jim?
Well, Peter, if they're attempting to see out the game with such a narrow advantage, there's room for trouble. I just think they're sending out the wrong message. This could backfire.
That has not gone well. And here's Pedri. Very nicely done. Lofted in. Uganda still have the cards to affect this game. Raul. Calatrava. That's been intercepted.
He read that really well and stopped it.
And it's Pedri. Oh, such a clever touch. Cleared away. Shin to shin, bicep to bicep, and he wins out. What's destined for the flank? It's a promising position. He is through here. Looking to play him in. Courtois breathes a sigh of relief as he gets his hands on the ball.
Well, there's plenty to like about this approach. Get your head down, keep battling away, and eventually things might change for you.
Raul. He is just caressing the ball. Still just that single goal, and we are nearly done. Oh, well played. Well seen. Saw that coming. That was well played. Well stopped. Big chance! That's a sharp finish. And surely now, the result's beyond doubt. And a calamitous moment ends with the inevitable result.
Well, you've got to give him credit for pressing so quickly there.
Number 15.
There's some activity down on the touchline. It seems there's going to be a change. Uganda have surely won it. Or so you... Oh, what has happened here? Great chance!
Oh, and they really should have been made to pay. He's a lucky boy there. You lose the ball like that, usually you're going to get punished.
And he's gone looking for safety. That's the end. What a satisfying performance. A performance at times of determination and occasionally magic. Simply, they had all the right answers.
And a quick
Castolo claiming the Man of the Match award, and there is very little room for argument. Well, what a sight this is. A beautiful evening and the promise of a match that will really get the juices flowing. I'm your commentator, Peter Drury, and providing his unique brand of expert analysis, here's Jim Beglin.
Thanks, Peter. It's a pleasure and a privilege for me to be here.
Well, the stage is set for a stirring showdown here. The supporters in great voice, and there's a real sense of anticipation in the air. Game on. We're up and running then. Punched away. And now a sudden chance to counter. No way through. Oh, well played, well sorted out. Elise, and here's Van Nistelrooy. And Van Nistelrooy! Van Nistelrooy! Goal after wonderful goal!
Well, this is already looking rather ominous for the opposition. When a player of his calibre can open up the scoring with a brilliantly classy finish, it could be a very long match for that defence to prevent it happening again.
The purest possible contact. What a fabulous strike.
Well, that was hit with genuine ferocity. You just don't stop those, Peter.
Uganda gain their reward with an early goal. Uganda leading here thanks to that early goal, and the score is 1-0. Oh, that's been intercepted.
That was well played, well stopped.
Uganda are looking to break at pace. Now it's Olise. Olise going face to face with his great rival. Well, the defence proved infallible then, but that won't be the last they'll see of him.
Valladolid really do like to play with a distinctive style, one that's pacey and expansive.
And they have those players that love a gallop or two out wide.
Yeah, they're the key supply routes, Peter, carrying the ball and then delivering it across that box.
Always played. Oh, shooting chance! It's a goal! A quite incredible spell. They are flying. As simple as you like, the outcome utterly inevitable.
Yeah, it's mystifying that a player of his talent wasn't picked up sooner and he picked them off instead.
Uganda are now luxuriating in a 2-goal lead. Well, now's the time you could afford to be more daring, Peter. It may be tempting to sit on this, but I'd say go and grab a third.
Pass somewhat off target. Oh, he'd have done well to reach that. Long ball by the goalkeeper. Rijkaard. That has not gone well. Turns back here, probably the best option. Goes looking wide. He has found the way through. Courtois gets his hands on it and the danger is averted. Uganda heading towards the half-time break. The wind very much in their sails. Played out to the left flank. Good defending there. They've slammed the door in the faces of the opposition. And it's Pedri. Very nicely done. Good spot that. Oh, well played. Plenty of numbers back. Indicated. Not the most convincing of passes. And that is the end of the first half.
Some first half thoughts? Well, I think things have worked out pretty well so far, Peter. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I think the manager has to resist change at this stage.
Uganda are heading into the break very happy with how it's gone so far.
Substitutions taking place.
Down to business again. Can he get it through? Oh, he's found support out wide. Well, the defence just about came out on top, but they were certainly tested. Now it's Hazard. Hazard. Oh, facing up to his adversary. This is a formidable matchup. Well, that defending is unapologetically persistent. It's almost personal, and it had to be. Well, the movement is slick, the speed is slippery. The defence, though, able to hold on this time.
While football is a simple game, complicated by footballers, why doesn't he slip that to the right?
Spread it left. Space for him to turn and look. Uganda perhaps contemplating their next change here. Hazard. He's well positioned. And the shot! Time and again they are repelled. Greenwood! Just a tiny bit high.
Oh, did the keeper have that covered? I'm not sure he did. I think I need a replay on that one.
Substitution on the field. Number 20.
Valladolid can now introduce the first of their substitutes.
Well, this could be an indication that the team are setting themselves up for the counter-attack here, Peter, and he is very good at that type of thing.
Well read, nice interception. Rijkaard is always scanning the pitch for targets. Now it's Hazard. Now this could be a chance. He's found a way through. Tries one from range. It's off target and by quite a way.
Well, I suppose he was being urged to shoot. Maybe the crowd will stay a little quieter next time.
Coming on the field. Number 7. Number 9. substitution.
Time for a change in personnel. Sergi Canos. Into the last quarter of an hour. Now it's Canos. Oh, nice touch. Crosses it in. Van Bouten. Kagawa. Van Nistelrooy currently being consciously targeted.
Well, this defence now knows that they have to reduce his movement because they've allowed him to run free.
And this is Hazard. Hazard was alert to the possibilities, but in the end it's fruitless. Sergi Canos. This looks promising. Alexander-Arnold cuts it out.
Has been indicated.
Well, here's a man adored by many, even deified by some. Nakata. Nicely weighted ball. Referee looks at his watch and blows his whistle. So smiles all round as they shamelessly indulge in the post-whistle euphoria. A win achieved through the right balance of industry and inspiration. A really satisfying day's work.
To draw your attention to
Van Nistelrooy voted man of the match and deserved. So, any reflections on what you've seen, Jim?
I think we just saw a team winning.
Only one station.
Hello and welcome one and all. The atmosphere building very nicely here. Gorgeous, gorgeous evening. The skies are clear, the noise is fervent, the atmosphere frenetic. I'm Peter Drury and this is Jim Beglin.
Cheers, Peter. It's a privilege to be here. It really is.
There's nothing quite like match day, especially here. This crowd doesn't do ordinary and we should be in for something very special. So things are underway. Great vision. Machino gets flagged offside. So, Jim, who would you identify as the key man in this fixture?
Well, I get the feeling, Peter, that this guy, Michael Elise, will be very much on show here. He's, I think, superb in that position on the right-hand side. I don't want to see him moved anywhere else in the team because he's expert in that area.
And there is your opener.
After 13 minutes, number 18, Kylian Mbappe. Kylian Mbappe.
It is a super start. So far, so very good. And they've got a throw. Oh, lovely bit of skill. Looking to play him in, and he's picked it up out wide. Tries to cross. Oh, that was vital. That was somewhat off target. And it's Vecino. He's being urged to shoot. Now, that wasn't a bad hit by any means.
Well, at least his thinking was very good, Peter. Probably thought he hit the target, judging by his reaction.
Decent chance. And he was alert to it. And now they can string out a defence. And he cuts out the supply. Vecino.
Vigo definitely have the look of a team that likes to counter-attack, Peter.
Yeah, that is clear. Just look at how they line up.
Well, in other words, they don't mind being patient.
Alexander-Arnold. Mbappe. Good play on the left-hand side here. That has been slung wide. Cleared without hesitation. Goes for a shot! No messing about, just bludgeoned away. Pedri. He's having a hit! Frustratingly close.
Uganda can certainly afford to see this half out now and reset during the break.
And Van Nistelrooy! Goal! 2 up and in charge, and things are looking pretty good for them now. Perfect placement. The one place the keeper couldn't reach.
That's just a fabulous, fabulous finish. Anything that close to the frame of the goal, 99 times out of 100, the keeper's not getting there.
Uganda are now luxuriating in a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, and you have to say that the contrast of moods are very...
Van Nistelrooy! Oh, split-second reaction.
Well, someone's doing his job properly, Peter, that's for sure.
Defending of the desperate variety. Ball's gone out of play. And it's Rijkaard. Vecino knocks it into space. That's an excellent interception. Alexander-Arnold. And that signals the end of the first period. Any opinion you'd like to express on the first half?
Well, I think things have worked out pretty well so far, Peter. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I think the manager has to resist change at this stage.
Uganda looking good, feeling good. It is 2-0 at the break. So we're straight back at it at the start of the second half. This is Van Nistelrooy. Van Nistelrooy finds himself offside. Tries to play it through. Decent chance! And that's a tidy finish. Barely into the second half, and already it is heating up.
So smooth, a signature finish.
Well, it always comes down to the telling final pass, and that was a beauty.
Vigo cut their deficit and look raring to go again.
The manager must have given them an earful at half-time, and fair play, because it seems to have worked. They've got to kick on from here now.
Well read, nice interception. Van Bouten. That's Rijkaard. And here's Van Nistelrooy.
They've got to make this nice and quick.
And it's Marcos Alonso. Raul. He's looking wide. And here's Mbappe. Oh, this is a very good run. So what can they make of this? The pressing's intense and it's paid off. Nuno Mendes is, of course, well known for his dancing feet. Facing up to his adversary, this is a formidable matchup. Vecino is there and he can get that clear. Uganda are looking pretty rattled at the moment, Jim.
There's no doubt about that, Peter. It looks like they've had the proverbial carpet swept from underneath them. And it's amazing how much one goal can change things.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to make any prediction on this right now.
Vigo really are going about things in the right fashion, Peter. It's great to see.
There is an irresistible, irrepressible look about them here.
You know, the interest value in this game might...
Big chance! No mistake. And that should do it. Within sight of the finish line. What a delicious finish. That is immaculate.
Speed of thought, speed of action. That's another really clever finish.
Number 66, Alexander Arnold. Substitution for Uganda. Number 7, Raul.
So time for change, and this one has been on the cards for a little while. Uganda go up by 2 and are looking good.
Number 3,
Well, that's pretty much sealed it now. And surely, Peter, we're not going to see any complacency after that.
coming on the field.
Well, they're looking at the referee, but he's waved play on.
Number 23, Mason Green.
Shifted it to the flank.
Number
It's
20,
a sharp pass.
number 14, Chouameni.
Moriba. It's a really well measured ball.
Roberto Carlos.
He's found a way through. Ilash Moriba. He's been bundled over. That is a foul. Well, the ref's been lenient here. I doubt he'll get too many more chances. He's gone for it. Well, now it's a race for the ball.
4 added minutes has been
That
indicated.
has ended up in no man's land. Mbappe, and he's worked it through. Oh, that's fabulous. And with that, the end. Uganda are walking off satisfied with their day's work. A result no less warranted, no less deserving of their efforts. A job done in a highly professional manner.
Those of you making
Any reflections on what you've seen, Jim?
I think we just saw a team winning by playing to their strengths. There was a clear picture of what they set out to do, and the players were determined to deliver it, and they did.
So thank you very much, Jim, for joining me. That brings us to the end of our coverage. So from us both, a very good evening. Hello and welcome one and all. The atmosphere building very nicely here. Gorgeous, gorgeous evening. The skies are clear, the noise is fervent, the atmosphere frenetic. This is Peter Drury, and I'm happy to inform you that Jim Beglin has joined me to offer his expertise.
Glad to be here, Peter, and I'm ready to rumble.
There's nothing quite like match day, especially here. This crowd doesn't do ordinary, and we should be in for something very special. Things already rolling. So, Jim, would you say that this formation has become the norm in recent years?
Yeah, I think it's one that places the emphasis on your centre forward, not just holding the ball up or finishing, but all the movement that happens around him, outside and inside the box. And he has to link up with that midfield and bring everybody into play, which ensures a more cohesive system. Well, that's good defending. He squeezed the play and he gave him no chance to get on the turn.
Well, the defence proved infallible then, but that won't be the last they'll see of him. Has a look and plays it forward. Quarter of an hour played.
Oh, look, this is about as tentative as it comes. Hopefully, a football match will break out soon.
Now, here's a man adored by many, even deified by some. A probing pass, chips it through. He's in a great position here. So there is Pedri, this youthful conductor of a mighty Catalan collective, the 2024-25 Super Deluxe edition. They countered to a domestic double, and a treble seemed almost certain until the most unfortunate of semi-final exits.
Incredible, Peter, that someone so young could play such a key and difficult role, effectively being a free man in midfield. But then his club are known for bringing through talent just like him.
Mind you, even by their elevated standards, Jim, he is a little bit special, isn't he?
Very much so, Peter. A gift from the gods.
Pedri. And it's Van Nistelrooy. Pass somewhat off target. Rijkaard.
Oviedo genuinely seem like a side that's confident with the quality they have out wide. They certainly like their little intricate combinations and link-ups.
Well, that's the impression I'm getting.
Yeah, I think you'll want to make sure you give the opposition a different look with each attack, variation, unpredictability. You know, that's always key to success.
It's a smartly directed ball. That's a nicely weighted pass. He leaps for it! No messing about, just bludgeoned away.
if they want to counter, they could do with more speed.
Now this could be a chance. And for the first half, that is that. So we go in at half-time with both defences still yet to be breached. They rather cancelled each other out in the first period. Let us see what the second half brings. How's the first half compared with your expectation?
Well, there's no way to disguise the fact that they've been poor. Not a single shot on goal tells you all you need to know, Peter. Everything seems a little hurried to me, a little rushed, panicked even at times.
Well, generally speaking, an entertaining half. Lack of goals a notable thing, but that's not to say it hasn't been very watchable. If you have just joined us, well, we've just begun the second period here. 0-0, and we're at the halfway point. And this is Van Nistelrooy. He is just caressing the ball. Cleared without hesitation. He slid in, and that has raised the temperature on the touchline. Oh, we're still waiting for a goal to report here. Looking to pass their way up the pitch. Van Belten. Alexander-Arnold making good progress on the right-hand side. It's not an especially good pass, that. Very little to report from an attacking perspective. Jim, it's a cagey old game.
Well, I think both teams can help themselves massively with better movement up front, Peter. There's just not enough happening at the moment. And essentially, their job is to find space. And that needs to start happening.
And the shot! Oh, that is rather wayward.
Substitution on the field. Number 9. Coming off the
Oviedo
field.
choosing to make the first change.
Yeah, it was pretty clear the manager's not been getting what he wants out of his players, so a substitution was going to come. I think it could have been sooner.
Substitutions taking place.
He's gone direct here. Beckham. That's a sharp pass. Beckham. And claimed it back swiftly. Shifted it to the flank. Schneider going face to face with his great rival.
Well, there's no doubt that they want to win this, Peter. They'll have to maintain the energy and dynamism until the very end, though.
Substitution on the field. Number 15. Number 7. Coming on the field. Number 14. Number 10.
And it's made its way to him. Luka! Oh, the ball's run loose here. Uganda are repeatedly frustrated here in the face of this rear guard. Time is getting away from them. Into the last 5 minutes. Beckham! Oh, he's done it! A breakthrough! So late in the day! Perfect placement, the one place the keeper couldn't reach.
Well, it's always that bit tougher for a keeper when the underside of the crossbar is in play.
Number 10, David Beckham.
Uganda look like they've won it, but it's not over yet.
Well, I can wholeheartedly say, Peter, they deserve this, but has the opposition enough spirit left in them now to maybe find a way back?
Not too much more here than seeing out time, and time is very nearly seen out. And that is it. The referee has seen enough. Uganda have held on. They have doggedly, sometimes frantically, preserved the tightest of leads. Beckham voted man of the match, and deservedly so.
Please take some time out to give your support.
So a game of drills and tiny margins. So